I'm going to tell you why I need to get a stick shift car. I'm going to tell you why I just bought another stick shift car and the type I bought and how it could help you in survival situations. My name is Jason Hanson. I'm a former CIA officer. I'm the New York Times bestselling author of Spy Secrets That Can Save Your Life. But anyways, let's get back to why you should buy a stick shift, why you should buy a manual transmission car. I read some crazy article on Fox News, and I can't remember the exact number, but it's something like 90% of people do not know how to drive a stick shift. And of course, most cars made these days, very few are made stick shift. So I've had plenty over the years, especially trucks. I got rid of a lot of my trucks that had it, just various things, they fell apart, they were old. But I just bought a new stick shift. It's a Nissan Versa. This is a total commuter car. So a lot of times when I'm driving to do videos or whatever it might be, or going to Las Vegas or going up to Salt Lake City, I've got a 4-hour drive, give or take. So I bought this fuel efficient, simple car, and it is a stick shift. Well, the reason I did it is, one, everybody should know how to drive a stick shift. I ended up having kids later in life after I left the CIA. So I've got 6 kids right now. There are 6 kids, ages 10 and under. But in 6 years, my oldest daughter, she's gonna get her driver's license. She's gonna learn how to drive. I want her to learn how to drive on a stick shift. And the reason is it's a practical, important skill everybody should have. What happens is some crazy crisis scenario where you need to drive a vehicle that is not yours and it's a stick shift, you know how to drive. When I just bought my new car and I was looking around and I saw it, and again, I was looking for a very inexpensive, even though no cars these days are inexpensive, but very inexpensive commuter car. I saw the Nissan Versa, it was stick shift, which is what I wanted. I said, yeah, that's the car I wanted. And the guy wanted to move it around and bring it up to clean it out before I drove it. He did not know how to drive a stick shift. He was like, oh, I gotta go get somebody else because I don't know how to drive this. I said, listen, I'll drive it for you. Going back to why I wanted it, my daughter, again, in 6 years, and my car right now only has 30,000 miles on it, the used one I bought. So it'll still be fine for her to drive. One, it's a good skill to have, but two, what is another reason nobody drives stick shift these days? Because everybody's on their phone. Everybody is doing everything they shouldn't be doing when driving an automobile. So I know you've been there many times because I was just there this morning. When you're sitting in a light, the light turned green, the person clearly is not paying attention, you have to honk your horn, and then their head pops up, oh yeah, I should be driving, I should be, going ahead. So I don't want my 16-year-old daughter or any of my kids to be texting, to be driving around, staring at their phone. And it's a lot harder to do that when you got to shift gears and when you're driving a manual transmission. So that's one of the reasons also I got this car, which she'll eventually inherit down the line. I teach evasive driving classes. Guess what? I used to have manual transmissions in my evasive driving classes, but because so many people showed up who couldn't drive stick, now almost every single car is an automatic. Because obviously it's not good when your customer shows up, they want to take an evasive driving course and they can't drive your manual transmission. So I highly encourage you, if you don't know how, learn how. It's not hard. I mean, most of us learned when we were 16 on our parents' truck or whatever it might be, but it is a good skill to have. It is a practical skill to have. In this crazy and unpredictable world, you never ever know when you're not going to have to, or when you're not going to be able to drive your own car, you may have to rely on somebody's car. Same thing with guns, which is why I say learn how to shoot many different types of guns. Is the gun that saves your life, a gun that you may have to pick up one day, may not be the gun on your hip, especially if you're overseas, but I realize you're probably not an intelligence operative overseas, but still. You want to be well-rounded, you want to learn things, get a stick, learn how to drive manual if you don't, make sure your kids know how to do this. Is obviously a dying skill, but an important skill. If you want to learn more driving skills, especially how to disarm somebody who's trying to carjack you with a gun to your head or maybe a knife, you want us to learn some vehicle survival skills, make sure you check out below, get that training that I'm giving to you. Have a wonderful rest of the day. Again, go out, buy manual transmission. I'm former CIA officer Jason Hanson. I'm out of here. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on that ring notification. And actually, I was going to say, I'm going to go drive, but I'm not going to go drive. I'm going to go exercise. Adios.